Hello, this is Chelsea Shamise. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your perception of things. How do you look at uneasy situations? How do you look at being exposed? Are you looking at it from a positive standpoint? Or is your outlook negative? Let's take a deeper look as to why we struggle with seeing the positive in a negative situation and why it's worth even seeing the positive. What's your perception of going through an uneasy situation? Well, a lot of the times you're going through for someone else. Did you realize that some of us have been graced with the opportunity to experience a trial, and we document those steps that we've taken to pass that test? Now, sometimes we document it mentally, or we actually write it down. But those that have been given this opportunity were handpicked. God saw that they had what was necessary to make it through that trial or trials, and He trusted them with the responsibility of sharing that with others that go through a similar test. When that person has gone through a trial or gone through tribulation, they will recognize you. Now, when a person has been handpicked to go through a trial for you, it's been set up where they would be able to give you hope and help you rid of feelings of isolation. You know, those thoughts of, I'm not gonna make it. Or the famous one, I'm the only one going through this. God has trusted them to document everything that they've gone through so that when it came time to help you, they'd be able to do so. I remember a time when the Lord had sent me, I want to say, to a couple of churches, and I kept waiting for the preacher to see me spiritually. But I kept blending in with the congregation. And a couple of months later, someone had told me about a ministry in Arlington, Texas, that is. I remember sitting in the service, and it was towards the end of the sermon that the preacher gave words and expressions that walked right down my lane. And I was so excited because I knew that God trusted this man with the responsibility of sharing his experience because he talked about the things that I was going through. And it let me know that he was God sent for me at that very moment to give me hope. And so that I would know that I could make it because he made it. The one thing we have to be careful of, however, is our awareness. Now, we know awareness, it just means having the knowledge of or perception of a situation or fact. We have to know where we stand with ourselves, though, because arrogance, stubbornness, and previous hurt can downplay our awareness. And unfortunately, we won't be able to move forward. It will delay our position. Had I been in that place when the preacher came forth with the message, I would not have been able to receive. It would have delayed me moving forward. Do we sometimes not move forward because of the messenger? We have to be careful not to ignore the message because of who it comes from. Now, we know this life is centered around a person's status. That's obvious. But sometimes the messenger that houses the message of deliverance and those escape routes that we need in order to move further on in life, the packaging is unfamiliar. And lots of times it's very unattractive. It could be someone that you grew up with. the one around the corner that everybody said wasn't going to be nothing, but you were their friend. And now, 10, 15 years later, you still look at them as, okay, well, you're not of my status. I'm still above you. But then they have a word to give you because they experience some things. Given that, they were in your mind beneath you. The mother of the church in some places, because we don't realize the knowledge and wisdom that mothers carry. And the mother of the church would say, honey, your shirt is too low, or that skirt's too short, wear your stockings. What they were trying to do was to keep us from putting ourselves in a situation where a man would lust after us, which could turn into something else later. So they had a message of deliverance, meaning they were trying to deliver us from a situation we had not entered in, meaning we would skip over it. We would get an advancement. We would move forward quicker. Now, you also have to be careful about previous hurt, because when someone is giving a message that you need, but you're hurt and you're in that place of not trusting, it causes you to rest in fear, false evidence appearing real. So you're tormented to the point of not moving forward, meaning you're stuck. Imagine a car stuck in mud, and no matter how much they push the gas, all they do is turn the wheel and cause mess. Mud's flying everywhere. At that point, you actually need some assistance. You actually need some help. You need someone to push behind the car or come in front and push you a little bit to get you out of that position so that you can move on.